Some of you may have heard the brand of Phono-Trix. Well, look at this. It's a little reel-to-reel machine by Phono-Trix. It's a very interesting machine. It's very basic in the controls. You just have start and stop. It starts the tape movement and stops it for record and play. You have play and record, playback volume, and there you got with the red around it, you got a mic input, a microphone input, and under it you have a speaker output. They use an odd kind of jack though. The only jack I have that will fit in it and get a connection is I think it's 1/16 of an inch jack, the same kind of jack that's used for remote jack on tape recorders. Why, look at that. There it is. The Phono-Trix. This is not any kind of volume control. This is a motor speed control. Then you might think, oh, if there's a control to adjust the motor speed, then it must be a rim drive machine. To all most people who are familiar with capstan and rim drive reel-to-reel tape recorders. Nope. This one is a capstan drive. It's got the pinch roller and the capstan. And then of course there's a head and the magnetic erase head. But you notice anything silly about it other than just it might look like a face or a duck with that like a mouth. Other than that, anything odd about the way the reels are? Notice the tape is wound and the other way than normal. Tape goes out of there, goes around and goes back around that way. And the head points in that way because the reading side is pointing out instead of in. I think they did that for ease of design. Now, since the output of the Phono-Trix is not very strong to be driving a speaker, it's not very loud, I went ahead and hooked it up to the RCA sound tape cartridge tape recorder just to use this as an amplifier because it has a audio input. So, let's hear it. This recording I made using this machine.
Hello, this is a Phono-Trix reel-to-reel. Of course I already told you that. Let me tell you a little bit about this. This machine was found at an estate sale, but it had suffered some bad rust from battery corrosion on the inside. It had rusted out pretty bad on parts, and even some of the electrical circuitry had rust on some of the wiring. But amazingly enough, to my surprise, even unrestored, after wiping the battery contacts with WD-40, I was able to get this thing to receive battery power off batteries. And the amplifier still works. Probably not as good as it did when new, but it does work. And I think that's amazing. It's both capable of recording and playback. And of course, turning the reels. I believe this is a DC bias machine, probably. Judging by sound quality and by that it would be a whole lot simpler to make a DC bias circuit for this machine. Okay, this is a German machine, perhaps either from the late 50s or the very early 1960s.
Very neat. If you didn't notice, it is a pretty noisy machine. Now, Remind is mainly manual operation, but hear how noisy it is. Yeah. You hear that dun 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 dun, that thump thump as it was going. It's because on the inside the motor shaft goes against the rubber on the flywheel, and the thing was left in the play position when I got it, so you know what that means. There's a notch on there. Luckily the pinch roller though is made of a high quality rubber, and even though the pinch roller was touching the capstan for so long, whenever I put it back to neutral, it did not leave a permanent notch on there. It went right away. So that was really neat. Now I'll show you how rusted out it is on the inside of the batteries. It's pretty bad. There's the motor. You can see right there where the shaft and it goes on the flywheel. Right in there. Yeah. It's pretty bad. There's a transformer right there. You can see some of the circuitry in there. See some of the rusted out on the components. It's amazing this thing still works. That's what I call built to last. Let's give an all-around view. That's a jack for something. Might have been for power, I'm not sure. I did try recording music on it, but it didn't come out very good. It sounded incredibly tinny and, you know, distorted, kind of. Probably because it was not attenuated for the microphone input, even though I did play it low, but still it's not the best recording quality in the world, but it gets the job done. I think though it's a very cool machine.